Welcome back to A Better Choice Homestead, where on my channel I focus on food, growing it, preparing it, and preserving it. Today's Tuesday. This is going to be an edition of Tasty Tuesday, and tonight I'm going to show you how to make a really simple, delicious pork dish in the Instant Pot. Today we are going to be doing a jerk pork with sweet potatoes served over rice. This is going to be a quick, minimally prepped meal and absolutely delicious. I have here about 2 pounds of pork shoulder steak. This is pork that I get from my local farmer every year. And I'm just gonna get that cut down. You can use any kind of pork that you have on hand. So that could be a roast, it could be pork chops, pork loin, any kind of pork you want. You just want it cut down into some bite-sized pieces and you don't want the bone. So I'm gonna be cutting the bone off of this, and I will be saving those bones because I love being able to make a stock or a gravy from bones and fat that I cut off of meat, all kinds of meat. I do see a little bone here, here, and here, so I'm just going to get that cut off first. And that will go into my freezer to become future stock. We've also got this bone here. And one here. I can cut a good piece of meat off of there too. With the bones removed, I'm just gonna cut this into bite-sized pieces or about 1-inch cubes. We're going to be using allspice in this dish because that is the prominent ingredient when you make a jerk recipe: jerk chicken, jerk beef, jerk pork. I've got a bowl here, and I'm keeping one hand clean so I can use it for my spices. And I'm just gonna get this meat into a bowl. I'm gonna dust this meat with 2 tablespoons of flour, a little pinch of salt, and pepper. Salt and pepper is to taste. You can add as little or as much as you'd like. And then I'm just gonna get that stirred around because we're just coating the meat with the flour. And we're ready to start. I'm gonna add a little bit of cooking oil. I'm gonna use avocado oil, a tablespoon or 2 to the bottom of the Instant Pot without the trivet, and I'm going to turn the Instant Pot to saute. And we're going to get that pork browned up in here for just a couple of minutes. And I'll do that in 2 batches if need be, so that I'm not crowding it, so that it has the opportunity to brown on all sides. That looks good. It's going to be easier to flip because of the flour and it wants to stick. So it's going to be easier to just get it up with a spatula and then flip them. Now that we've got some good color going on these, I'm going to go ahead and scoop them out and put in the rest. And while that's browning, I'm going to go ahead and chop up 2 cloves of garlic. Just going to dice this kind of small. Doesn't have to be fully minced. And then I'm going to do about half an onion. I've already got one started here. I'm just going to cut off the ends that were exposed and discard those. And just small pieces here as well. No particular size. And we're going to get this meat flipped. That looks good. We're going to go ahead and take this meat out now as well. So just a few minutes to brown up. And get some nice color and caramelization going on inside the pan, which just helps to build flavor. I'm going to add in that onion and garlic. And I'm also going to add in some diced jalapeno. This is jalapeno that I preserved last summer. So probably 2 tablespoons worth. Just going to get that cooked for about 30 seconds. And then I'm gonna add in the allspice. We're gonna add about 1/8 of a teaspoon of allspice. Smelling good. Smelling really good. Now I'm gonna add some chicken stock in here. We're gonna deglaze this pan. And we only need about 1 cup. And to deglaze the pan, you want to get all the brown bits up off the bottom of the pan. The pan's looking pretty clean now. I'm going to put that pork back in the pot, and we are going to cook this for 18 minutes on high pressure. Oh, this smells so good. So yummy. This just needs 18 minutes, and we're going to do a quick release on the pressure at the 18-minute mark before finishing the dish. And while that's cooking, we're gonna get our rice cooked. Cooking rice on the stove is really easy. It is a 1-to-2 ratio, so 2 cups of water. Bring that to a boil. Once it's boiling, we're going to add the rice, turn this to a very low simmer, covered for 20 minutes. With our water at a boil, I'm just going to add the rice, give it a quick stir, drop the flame to the lowest simmer I can, put a lid on it, and not touch it again for 20 minutes. With our rice and our pork cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and dice up 1 large sweet potato. I'm gonna leave the skin on because of the nutritional value in there. You can peel yours if you'd like. I'm gonna cut it once down the middle the long way. Cut the ends off. And then I'm just gonna make strips out of this. And I'm going to thin those strips down. So I'm just going to cut them again the long way. And once you have sticks, then it's just easy to get these into diced pieces. This one's still pretty thick. Incredibly flavorful, really good, nutritious and delicious. We're gonna throw these into the Instant Pot when this gets to the 18-minute mark, and then we're gonna put this back on for 2 more minutes. So we've got a little bit of time left to go on this. Our Instant Pot is done. I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick release on the steam. And now that the pressure has gone down and we can open it, I'm going to get the sweet potatoes stirred in, and the rice has about 5 minutes left on it at this point. We're just gonna get that mixed around. Oh, this smells so good. I'm going to put the lid back on and we're going to cook this for an additional 2 minutes on high. Timer just went off, so I'm going to go ahead and do a rapid release of the steam. And our rice is also done, so I went ahead and turned that heat off. It smells so good. I'm going to give that a quick stir. I'm going to make sure that our sweet potatoes are nice and soft, which they are. They are fork tender. Perfect. I've got some corn here that I preserved last summer. So this is just frozen corn. This is 2 cups. I'm going to put that in there. And I'm also going to add a tablespoon of lime juice. We're going to give that a stir, and we're going to let it hang out in here until it warms that corn through. That looks amazing. Our rice is done too. Let me give you a look at that. This is a no-fail way to cook rice on the stove. So it's just 2 to 1, rice to water, bring it to a boil, add your rice, and then simmer it for exactly 20 minutes without removing the lid until it's done. We can go ahead and get plated up. We've got our rice in the center. I went ahead and added just a little bit of cilantro to the rice before I took it out of the pot after it was done cooking. And then I just added the jerk pork with sweet potato all around the outside. This smells absolutely incredible. I am really looking forward to digging into this, and so will my family. They'll be super pleased with this. Let's go ahead and give this a try. Now you can adjust this recipe to suit your taste. If you want to use Scotch bonnet peppers and make this incredibly hot, you can do that. If you want to use sweet bell peppers instead of jalapenos, you can do that as well. So really versatile in the types of ingredients. You could even change up the vegetables if you were so inclined. I'm going to start with the vegetables, which I usually do. So here is the sweet potato cooked for 2 minutes in the Instant Pot. Wow. You got the sweetness from the sweet potato, but also the flavor from the broth and the rest of the ingredients in there, which just blend so incredibly well together. They really complement each other. All right, let's try a piece of this pork. That is so tender and so incredibly tasty. Now let's try a little bit of that rice. It's perfect. Absolutely perfect. And now I'll blend some of this up together so the rice has some of the broth on it and some meat and some vegetables. That is incredible. That is so tasty. And that was so easy to throw together. So many nutrients in here with those sweet potatoes. A good dose of protein from the pork. You've got your onions and your garlic, your peppers. This is truly a delicious dish. You really should give this a try. If you do, please let me know what you think in the comments down below. I love this dish and I can't wait to get it on the table tonight so everybody can enjoy it. If you're interested in trying other new recipes, feel free to check out my playlists. I have a few. I'm sure you might find something you'd enjoy. Thank you for joining me for another edition of Tasty Tuesday. Jerk pork and sweet potatoes over white rice. My name is Kelly. You're at a Better Choice Homestead, and I do hope you come back and visit again soon.